In light of recent events, I really wanted to start a new series on this page. We're going to call it History They Don't Teach You in Social Studies. And for part one, we're going to start with something light, like concentration camps that were built by the United States. First, we need to agree on what is a concentration camp. According to the American Heritage Dictionary, it would be a camp where persons are confined, usually without hearings and typically under harsh conditions, often as a result of their membership in a group that the government has identified as dangerous or undesirable. This is not to be confused with extermination camps or death camps like you saw at Auschwitz. Going off this definition, there are many examples in history we could point to. Obviously, you have the Holocaust, Russian gulags, China's re-education camps where they've detained millions of Muslims, or maybe France's regrouping centers for Algerians. Notice all the funny names they use for concentration camp. We even have Operation Demetrius carried out against the Northern Irish. Not to mention Israeli detention camps that have gained a lot of attention for human rights violations against Palestinians recently. Prior to the Trail of Tears, Cherokee were rounded up and held in emigration depots. Over 4,800 Cherokee prisoners were held in terrible conditions where many of them died. This was the first large-scale confinement of a specific ethnic group into detention centers. To no one's surprise, we did this to the Dakota and the Navajo people as well. And of course, there's the Philippine-American War that they just gloss over in high school. And what do you know, it resulted in hundreds of thousands of civilians being killed, and thousands more would perish in concentration camps. Maybe you've seen some of our videos about Japanese internment camps on this page. Thousands of innocent Japanese Americans and indigenous Alaskans and even German and Italian American citizens were rounded up and put in prison for no reason. During the Vietnam War, we funded the Strategic Hamlet program, relocating thousands of Vietnamese civilians, of course, to stop the spread of communism. Getting closer to today, we have a little place you might have heard of called Guantanamo Bay, or the lesser-known Parwin Detention Facility in Afghanistan, and Abu Ghraib Prison in Iraq. Countless human rights violations were reported at these prisons, and many of the captives were detained without ever legally being charged with a crime. No matter where you stand politically, this is a massive stain on both the Bush and the Obama administration. And that brings us to now, where we have immigration detention facilities like Alligator Alcatraz. This would almost certainly fit the definition we discussed earlier. Looking at children being separated from their parents, reports of health violations, deaths while in custody, substandard nutrition, and you even have hundreds of Holocaust and genocide experts that are addressing this in an open letter to the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum.